What's going on YouTube? My name is Adam. I'm coach of the Maryland Blue Krabbys, and we are back for our Week 7 matchup versus the Cretan Articunos. They are coached by Bluebird. I'm not sure what his real name is. Sorry, dude. I really haven't asked. When you play in League, usually you just get used to calling your opponent by whatever they go by on Discord. So this is going to be our team builder for Week 7. We are looking to get our 6th win. We're in a very competitive conference in our league, and we've got Westchester next week. So I am going to go ahead and pull the team builder up, but I'm not going to give you all my exact sets just because I don't want to give my opponent too much of a heads up, especially with Westchester doing as well as they are. I don't want to give them any extra advantage that they don't necessarily need. Sorry, James, that's not going to happen. I am going to bring Charizard X with Tough Claws, Adamant. We're going to be rocking EQ, Dragon Dance, Outrage, and Flare Blitz. There's not an awful lot that we can just get a Dragon Dance up on outright, but if we are able to get something low to where he starts freaking out, maybe having to preserve something, or we get in a favorable matchup, we will be clicking Dragon Dance and trying to punch holes in the walls that he has on his team. This is all Charizard is doing this week. It is a wall breaker. So we're going to try and let it do its job. We will be rocking the nickname Envy, and this will be green with Envy, get it, haha. We're going to be bringing an interesting Klefki set this week. We are not going to be running Defog on this. I feel like Defog is just becoming a little too predictable, and against Cretan, against Bluebird, this set has the potential to sweep. We are going to rock Bold. Again, I'm not giving away my EV sets. We've got Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Substitute, Magnet Rise. Magnet Rise will be useful for the Kyurem. If he wants to throw Earth Powers off, or even the Probopass. I'm not sure if Probopass gets Earth Power or not, but this is going to help us 1v1 those Mons a little bit better. We can go for a couple Calm Minds, get some health back with Draining Kiss, and then throw off Substitutes. So this is just going to be a pain in the rear end, hopefully, for his team. Unfortunately, this does mean we are not running a Defogger or a Hazard Remover this week, which is arguably a really questionable decision. But I feel like this gives me a really good chance to win, and I really don't have a set or a slot on my team for a defogger after this Klefki is in here. So hopefully our goal will be to either set up against the Sableye or something that's low, that knows that it can't take a hit, or doesn't want to take a hit, or figures that I'm just going to defog or do something kind of goofy. Maybe just throw off a hazard and can just start setting up from the get-go. We are going to be rocking Ditto this week, and this is just going to be your standard Ditto set. We are going to be using this as kind of a check to the setup mons. He's got Crawdaunt, Crustle, Kartana even. Kartana, we figure will probably not be Scarfed because it is his Z user, and in the past weeks he's used that explicitly as a Z user. So if he does bring it, the odds are that it is not Scarfed. It'll most likely want to change up its moves, probably for the Amoonguss or for something else. I can almost see the Psychium Z coming with the Psycho Cut. So hopefully what we'll do is, near the end of the game, kind of let that Kartana go +1, throw this thing out there, hopefully get a +1 up with our Choice Scarf, and then go ahead and return the favor and sweep his team. That is the goal, at least. We'll see if that comes to fruition. We have not played just yet. We were supposed to play last night, but he fell asleep, and it is what it is. I've not been the most flexible coach with my now crazy life schedule, so I'm gonna return the favor and be patient, or as patient as I can be, and we'll kind of go from there. So I am bringing Conkeldurr. This is a gut set. It is Adamant as well, and this is just going to be here to punch holes in the walls. Him and Charizard this week are just designated wall breakers. Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Knockoff, and Fire Punch are all really good moves versus his team. It gives us an array of coverage. Slow King and the Gourgeist on his team are not going to appreciate that, as well as just losing your item. It is kind of a toss-up right now if I want to run Mach Punch just for the Crawdaunt. It is a potential. I may end up switching it, but as of right now, I'm going to go with Drain Punch. And we do have a couple hours before we play, so that might change. If it does, I'll let you guys know. That's our Conk set for the week. We are running Amoonguss. Amoonguss is just going to be here as another Regenerator Mon, just to make sure that we can go in and kind of check setup sweepers. If we lose a couple of things that can check, say we lose Ditto, we're forced to lose Ditto, we can hopefully potentially take any one attack, spore something, then go for Clear Smog or Hidden Power Fire if it is the Kartana. and kind of check things, keep things in balance for us. Giga Drain is going to be nice for a couple of things. This does lose to Slowking, and it does lose to Kyurem, so we are going to have to play around those pretty well. Gourgeist is another check to the Spore, so we'll just have to kind of keep that in mind. But Clear Smog and Hidden Power Fire are going to be nice. Even if he does want to throw off Wisps or something with that Gourgeist, or even with the Sableye, we should be able to kind of take some things on with this Amoonguss. Last but not least, we have Tornadus Therian, and you know, this is one of those things that's going to be we're running a ballsy set Tornadus Therian this week just because I need the extra firepower. I don't really have any other moves to throw on here that can kind of 1v1 the Probopass other than Focus Blast. If we miss a Focus Blast and he goes for, I believe, a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch, it's not going to be a fun time. We are running Focus Blast, U-Turn, Hurricane, and Dark Pulse, and that's just going to enable us to kind of counter a couple of things on his team. Dark Pulse is there for the Gourgeist and the Slowking. U-Turn helps us kind of draw things in and pivot out, as well as get some Regenerator out if we scare something out. In the previous weeks, we've run a lot of various sets with our Z moves, and we are not rocking a Z move on this Mon just yet. We're going to be running a Life Orb this week. So hopefully I'll kind of get inside his head. You know, if anybody watched my previous week, I was running the Steelium Z and caught a Mega Diancie. So hopefully he'll be a little wary as to stay in against this thing, just because I have shown at least a few rounds of depth in this Mon. So hopefully it'll kind of keep him guessing as to what I'm going to go for. That is our team for the week. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop the comment below. Our question of the day is, what is your favorite Pokemon to use in League format? At least for me, so far this season in the GPL, I've really enjoyed using Conkeldurr. One Mon that I haven't been able to bring so far that I really enjoy using is Doublade and Alolan Persian. It just they haven't had the best matchups so far this season, and you know, I'm looking forward to getting to use them. I might be able to use them in the coming weeks, but we will see. As far as the team builder, that's going to be a wrap for us, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut here, and we'll skip ahead to the battle. Alright guys, we are back for our battle versus the Cretan Articunos. This battle just finished up. Well, actually, if I'm being honest, it finished up last night. Getting it up this morning, this evening. Life has just been a little bit crazy. I've actually got, for those of you that don't know, I'm an insane diehard Washington Capitals fan, and they are playing the third game of the series versus the Golden Knights right now. For those of you that keep up with hockey, you know that the Golden Knights, this is their first year in existence, and they made it all the way up to the Stanley Cup playoffs, which is insane when you think about it. We just had a goal wiped off the board for an insanely awful call, you know, at least from a Capitals fan perspective. Just wiped off the board because of some bogus call by a ref, which is funny because usually when you're at home ice, which we are, you get some beneficial calls. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I'm just, you know, I've decided to go record so that I don't have to watch the game and actually worry about it too much. I know that sounds bad, but still. So we battled last night. It was a pretty quick match. Battled as soon as I got back from work. So I'll go ahead and pop up the battle window. Right off the bat, I'm really excited by what I see. And if you remember in the team builder, I believe I said that I was bringing a Conkeldurr set. I did end up changing Fire Punch to Mach Punch just because Drain Punch into Mach Punch cleaned the Cortana, and I figured the Crawdonk could be a problem if I didn't have priority for it. The Kyurem, as I mentioned in that team builder, is going to be a problem if we can't take it out early. We'll have to rely on Ditto to kind of keep things in check. But, you know, all in all, I felt like this is a pretty good team for me to counterplay. So I'll go ahead and start the match. We'll go fairly slow, and I'll just go play by play. So I lead off with Charizard. There's really no reason not to. I can lead with something. I can lead with this and just get a lot of damage off on something right off the bat. So that's my play. I'm just going to go Mega here. Now, my gut was telling me he was going to throw off a status, and it was either going to be Toxic or Thunder Wave. And at this point, I was debating whether or not I wanted to go Klefki. If I got a Paralysis, that wasn't the best for me. I know that I can play around with Toxic on this Envy. Like I said, it's not really going to be in here for the long haul and set up. And I didn't want my Klefki paralyzed. I don't know if he was maybe predicting me to want to just, you know, Dragon Dance on him or just go for damage. But either way, he does throw off a Toxic right here. We go Mega. We just get a huge hit off on him. It's going to be good damage. Definitely a 2-hit KO, even with the bulk he's got. And Toxic does land. At this point, there's really no reason for me, like, I can't switch my move, but there's really no downplay, so you can just go in for another Outrage. So we throw off another Outrage here, and it's going to do pretty decent damage to the Kartana. As poor as the special defenses are on this mon, Kartana's defense is pretty good, plus it does resist our Dragon Stab. We are going to get confused, which is good for us, because that means we can just go ahead and bop on out. And we are going to go right out into, I believe, Amoonguss right here. And this is going to be a great position for us to be in, so I think we'll just go ahead and click a Spore here. Now, this is a really cool Kyurem set. I got to give props to Vapor Slay, because this set is actually, you'll see it in a second, it is Sleep Talk with 3 attacks. So this was his direct counter to Amoonguss and the Spore. It was really cool, and at first I kind of assumed it was maybe a Sleep Talk bulky set. But then I realized, oh my gosh, he made this to counter my Amoonguss. What a baller. We are going to go out into Mrs. Bojingles, and we are just going to be able to go, like we see, we do see the Sleep Talk right here. And it goes Draco Meteor. We are just going to go for a sub, and this is where we're going to start building we're going to start buffing our stats right now. As far as this Nidoqueen is concerned, the only thing that it can hit me really hard with is a Earth Power, excuse me. So we're going to go Magnetize here. He is just going to take this opportunity to put up Stealth Rocks, which is absolutely fine. I got a free Magnetize out of the deal. I'm just going to go ahead and start Calm Minding up. And there's really no reason for me not to. So the Sableye comes out, and I'm like, okay, great deal. You know, this is fine. But what I don't know at this point is that there's going to be just a smidge of hacks that's going to break through this. So I'm actually the dog sitting in the fire saying this is fine. So I am just Calm Minding. If we don't get a crit, we don't have a sub break, and lo and behold, we do have a crit. And, you know, I was talking about this in the chat. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a t-shirt, market it, and say, you know, crit happens, because you know, as much as we've had good luck in this you know, the season opener, it does seem that ever since then we've been paying for it just a little bit. Maybe the freeze last week kind of went our way, but that crit does force us to go for a sub here, because we know that we can take another Thunderbolt if he doesn't break it. It just puts us a little bit farther behind. It would have allowed me to keep boosting and further resist those Thunderbolts. So he is going to go for another Thunderbolt here, I believe. I don't know if he even had Earth Power. I don't know if maybe that was a move that he packed or not, because on Nidoqueen, I know he has Kyurem with Earth Power. Kartana is going to be his play here. I just wanted to go for a sub. According to my calcs, this Draining Kiss is a roll to take him out. I don't know if we just got a low roll, or if maybe he wasn't the full bulk set, or excuse me, the full attack set. Maybe he had a little bit of bulk in Spadef. But either way, it does not kill. And this is his Z user. I believe that he played this the way that I would if it was Scarfed. So Vapor, if you're watching this and you wanna divulge a little bit of information, that'd be great. Was it Scarfed? Was it Z moved? Because you played it kind of like it was Scarfed. I don't know. So if it was a Z move, I knew I lived a Z move, but it put me in a bad spot because I would have to directly attack him, and I didn't want to sub, have him attack and just whittle my health down. I did want to see if I could bait out the Z move, and that's why it kind of leads me to believe that he is indeed Scarfed. So he does go for the Smart Strike again. You know, there's really not too much to say about that, except for the fact that Mrs. Bojingles really can't sit in here too freely. So we do have to go out into Amoonguss. This does a hell of a lot of damage. Kartana is insanely strong, and it is just going to start ripping through my team. There's really no reason to not fire off Giga Drain. I needed to kill Kartana, or anything that he would want to go out to wouldn't directly resist it except for the Thundurus, and I didn't see him going out into the Thundurus at this point. So yeah, I kind of figured Kyurem would work its way back out here. I figured I had a pretty good chance of him, you know, not knowing how long his sleep turns were going to be. At this point, I think he's only burned one. I figured he would probably go for Sleep Talk again, and I figured I had a decent chance to live up a pretty positive roll. So he does go for Sleep Talk here, which is nice for us. It does mean we are going to be able to get an Outrage off, because we know he is not Scarfed. He doesn't have Speed us, which means that Outrage is going to be able to get a really nice, really helpful kill here on something. Sableye was a decent sack, and it leads me to believe that he was Scarf Kartana, and that's why he didn't just sack that there. Either way, you know, it was one of those things. I didn't want to give him a free beast boost, but I also knew that if he got a beast boost, that I could go out and copy it with Ditto. Sorry, my family's cheering off in the distance, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Did we score? Did we make a good play? What's going on? So I'll try not to be too distracted in the first. I don't know if you can hear them. But yeah, they're having a good time. So Thunderous coming up. So at this play right here, if he was Scarfed, this was a toss-up, and this tells me that he is Scarfed. I have Ice Punch on this Conkeldurr. I knew that I did not appreciate a Smart Strike, so Mach Punch was the only play I could go for. I was so close to clicking Ice Punch, which would have been so helpful in this scenario. But you know, this game is not a game of what you could have done. It's a game of what you did. So there's really no point in saying, oh, well, if I had done this, it would have worked out. Because you didn't do that. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I should have done this and this would have happened. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I clicked Mach Punch. It would have been a nice play if I had made it, but I didn't. So we'll have to live with that regret. Living with regret, new band name, I call it. Actually, I feel like that probably already exists. So he does show the tech here, and the Hidden Power Flyer comes out. We are just going to go for the Ice Punch. This is what I'm talking about. If we had gone for the Ice Punch, we would have been able to clean Oko this, well, not Oko, but we would have been able to 2-hit KO it and had Conkeldurr and a decent amount of HP. Not optimal, but to the point where he could probably deal with the Crawdon depending on the roll and depending on the investment. And you know, with Mach Punch, we don't have to fear Kartana too much. We can kind of take on the Nidoqueen with the Assault Vest. I don't want to get too much into the rolls, but regardless of what the play was here, you know, Thunderous is just going to have to get some damage with Mach Punch and then go down, because there's really no reason for him to not click Hidden Power Flying. And that's exactly what he does. So Conk goes down. Sorry, dude, we didn't get you a kill this game. It is what it is. So at this point, I know that he knows. Singing the psych intro. I know that he knows that this is my Z-Mon, and I think that he was going to go out and try and burn my Z-move. Like we mentioned in the team builder, I am actually, in fact, not a Z-move this week. I am a Life Orb, and he'll know this as soon as I click an attack. So we are just going to go for Dark Pulse here. I know it will kill. Well, quote unquote, I know it will kill. It was a roll. I think it was a 36 to 42% difference. So, like I said, this is a ballsy set, Tornadus. And, you know, I was thinking we do outspeed, so maybe, you know, worst case scenario, we get a flinch if he doesn't die. Bad to think, I know, but that's what was going through my mind. So yeah, we're just going to throw up Dark Pulse here. There's really no reason not to. It does hit everything relatively hard. Kartana is going to fall to Tornadus' hands, and we're still not in a great position. Losing Conkeldurr was a bad thing. I figure I just want damage off on this Nidoqueen, and lo and behold, the Nidoqueen that I thought was going to be a defensive kind of hazard setter ends up being a majority. How do I want to phrase this? It was mostly special attacking. At least that's what my calcs were telling me. Either this was an insanely bonkers high roll, or he just had no bulk, which is really cool. Again, you know, props to him. He had some baller sets in this game. What can I say? He just played like a baller. So we are just going to fall here to a Thunderbolt. Not much we can do to that. I mean, I'm sure he's probably got some coverage for the Amoonguss. So I go out into this. I'm thinking I can get some nice damage off. I know that Sludge Wave will kill. I also do want to find out his set, and I believe it was Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, Stealth Rock, and one other move. I forget what it was. He probably showed it, and I just don't remember it. But anyway, I figure, you know, Sludge Wave is going to do some decent damage to whatever he wants to swap into. I do not want to click Thunderbolt, just because that would not be good. So Sludge Wave is going to come off here. It is not going to be a 2-hit KO. It was so very close, so close. So I have to go out here. There's really no reason for him to not click Earth Power at this point, but I knew that I needed Ditto around, and I knew I needed Amoonguss around, because if we get in versus the Crawdon, this is like my last dying wish as I know that the game is fading out of my hands. I have to make a play, and he does go for Earthpower. There was really no reason not to. He does hit Nidoqueen, or Ditto is Nidoqueen, and it does hit Doomshroom pretty hard. I figure I can just go ahead and go for a Spore here. He puts his least valuable Mon to sleep, which is okay. He is going to go ahead and double back out, I believe, here into Thundurus. Yes. Again, no reason not to double back out into this, expecting him to either stay in or for him to double out. And at this point, I realize he does have the hidden power, but my hidden power was Dark, which is probably the least valuable hidden power that I could have had this game. He was Defog, Thunderbolt, hidden power Dark, and U-turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for a U-turn. I was almost wondering if maybe I shouldn't just go ahead and click Thunderbolt, go ahead and give him some HP back, and then I don't know where I would go from there, but kind of play around this thing, because he would have to then send Nidoqueen in. I could go back out into Amoonguss, play the game a little bit longer, but like I said, it's my last grasps at trying to pull out a victory. It's really an uphill battle at this point. Kyurem is just going to be too much of a problem. I said in my team builder that I knew that this was going to be a hassle, and unfortunately I gave it a door, and he just opened it and said, hey, this is my house now. So we are going to be able to get one more kill. We'll pick up this kill on the Nidoqueen, which is super nice. Crawdaunt is going to come out. The only way I win at this point is if I get a freeze, and I am not ashamed to say that I was sitting here like asking Arceus, to just toss one up for me. Just give me a freeze, because this is all I need, and the game is mine, or so I think. Kyurem might have been able to 1v1 me. Depends on what he does to what. I didn't calc it. But the game is a fair game, at least most of the time, and he does not get a freeze. He played better. He made the plays that he needed to play. He made the plays that he needed to make to win the game, and so I can't even be mad. This one does hurt. It is going to drop us to 5-2. He's going to bump up to 6-1, and we are going to fall to plus 11 differential. And I gotta say, come on, Vaporslay, I just redid my entire layout and made it all new and fancy, and you gotta give me an L on this. Like, come on, man. But no, it was a really fun match. It was a really well played match. I really hope I get the chance to play him again at some point, if not in this season, then maybe in the next, because this was probably one of the most fun battles that I've had so far in the league, at least. Next week we take on Westchester, and he is a scary coach. Now that we've taken an L in this match, we can go ahead and move forward. Looking at James's team, he is right now, I believe he is plus 25. He's either lost by 5 or won by 5 every match, and he is, I believe he's 5-1 now. I don't know if he's played his week 7 match just yet, but I can't wait to find out how that ends up going, because it's gonna be scary. So James, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have to open up my bag of tricks and try and take a W from you. Hopefully we will be able to live com that. I'll probably have him on my channel for a post com. I might live record it and not add any commentary, and then we can kind of go through the match together, dual commentary, and kind of give each other what we were thinking about throughout the match next week. But yeah, so we're gonna take an L this week. It's never fun to take an L, especially in the conference that we are in. I want to say we're in the Diamond Conference. I don't know. Isn't it bad that I don't keep up? All I know is that we were on the top, and now James is gonna be like light years ahead of us, because his differential is plus 25. We're plus 11. We gotta step up our game. We gotta win, and I believe that the league that we're in, it settles things by differential. So even if we beat James, if he has a better differential, then he'll take the playoff spot over me. So we gotta get our game up, and we'll have to make sure that we don't get swept by James like most of his opponents have had happen to them. But anyway, I'm probably just gonna sulk back to my corner and figure out what I could have done a little bit better. My team prep probably could have been a little bit better, but I think Vaporslay just played really well. And I don't want the world to see, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand.